Hello YouTube and welcome back to this how-to channel. In this video today we're going to be showing how to give a fade at home. I wouldn't say a low fade and I wouldn't say a high fade, so let's call it a mid fade for the sake of this video. So if this video is helpful, don't forget to subscribe and like. Let's get started. So you're going to start off with your machine. That's the first thing you're going to need. Then you're going to need an outliner. You're going to need a number 1 clip, a number 2 clip, a comb, I prefer a brush, oil to keep your machine lubricated, and clipper side to keep them clean. So let's go. We're going to start off by working on our very first layer with our machine open all the way and no guards on it, usually called 0.5. We're going to be going against the grain, which just means going the opposite direction that the hair is actually growing. Don't forget to be methodical and patient. Everybody has their own style and a different way of doing things. What separates a barber's haircut from a regular haircut is really the detail and the attention to detail. Keep in mind that you'll have to pass over certain areas many times. Yes, even barbers need to. So don't give up if this is your first time. Now, right here, the hair grows in the opposite direction. So I will also cut it in the opposite direction. Otherwise, it'll remain darker than everywhere else. Alrighty, so the next step is going to be shortening the top. The reason I like to do this is it makes it easier to actually bring the fades together. So when the hair is a little bit shorter on top, you don't have as much fading to do. So once you get a little more comfortable, you don't have to do the top, but if you're a beginner, I really would recommend it. Alrighty, so this right here is called the cowlick. What it is a portion of hair that grows in the opposite direction as the rest of the hair around it. So you can either try to cut it with a larger clip, which is a little difficult because the hair around it also stays longer. What I like to do is when the hair is short like this, is to just cut into it and shorten the hair around it. Make sure your entire layer is uniform in color, and again, don't be afraid to go over your work until the color of the fade looks right. Next, we're going to remove the number 1 clip and go back to the 0.5 in order to remove the line between the last 2 layers. Go slow. My very first haircuts took me over 2 hours to finish, believe it or not. You can always take off more hair, but you can never put it back. Listen for the noise of the machine cutting the hair. That'll be your best friend. Right here, I've already created a layer with a 1.5. I need a length that's a little bit longer than a 1.5, but not necessarily a 2. This applies for any size. So what I'm gonna do is angle the machine in a way that it's actually gonna artificially create a longer length. This works for a 0.5, a 1, a 2, any number. Now we're going to move on to the outline, also known as lineup or the shape up. This part of the haircut's super important. Take your time and don't rush it. If you find certain sections hard to cut, try dragging the clippers to the left or to the right a bit as you're touching down on the head. That's going to help cut more hair and make that line extra crispy. Be careful with this section of the outline, especially with kids. It's very sensitive. You can actually avoid that section altogether since we're going to pass over it with the clippers fully closed so the outline won't show there anyways. Every now and then, step back and look at what you're doing. It's hard to see exactly what you're doing when your face is right up in there. So like I said, take a step back, see what you're doing, regroup, and go back in. Right here, I noticed that the right side was lower than the left side. So I started from the middle, and I'm gonna work my way out to the edge until I get it perfectly level. Now, to finish up the haircut, you're going to want to clean up the neck area with the clippers closed all the way. There's a possibility that that creates a little bit of a line at the bottom, so what you're going to want to do is open the machine halfway and create one extra layer on top of that one. And you're pretty much good to go. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If it was helpful, leave a like, subscribe, and tune in for the next one. Thank you.